Yo, Lisa! It was nice seeing you again today. 17 years now since the last time we made contact with one another, right? I'm sure seeing me come out of nowhere like that was quite the surprise for you.
Nice seeing you as well, Troy. Now what do you want with me?
Huh?
I'm asking what my ex-husband, the man that said he should be married to a younger woman after all, before stabbing me in the back and running off with my little sister, wants from me. You were following me all afternoon, going on and on about how you had something to ask me about Rebecca, and that's why I'm responding to you now, because I have no other choice. And just a reminder, after you tell me what you wanted to say and ask, I'm going to be deleting your contact info again and don't want to see you anymore.
Oh, that's right. About Rebecca.
I heard that you both broke up with one another 1 year after you left me for her. But that was 16 years ago, so why do you want to ask about her now?
That was just an excuse.
Huh?
I had to say something in order for you to eventually give me your number like that. But even before that, I had to actually find out where you were living now and come out here and hang out around the area waiting to run into you. And I can't believe that even worked out for me to begin with. Sure, you're 17 years older now, and that age is really beginning to show, but you still have that same old face, which made it so easy for me to recognize you.
Do you have nothing better to do right now? Why the hell would you come out around my house waiting for me to come out?
I wanted to show you how happy I'm living right now.
Huh?
Right now, I'm about to start going out with this super young and super hot girl.
Oh, now I'm really not curious.
Just listen for 2 seconds. Her name is Lanny, and she's a college student. She's currently working part-time at a ramen restaurant called Rama close to Hartford Station.
What? Did you say Rama?
It's a pretty famous restaurant in that part of the city, so you have to know it as well, right?
Well, I do know about it. But a girl named Lonnie working at Rama?
Right. Just her name alone is super cute, right?
I also happen to know the owner of Rama, by the way. And that Lonnie you're speaking of is still in high school. So...
What? But I was told by a frequent customer to that place that the owner's daughter is a college student. He said she's available and everything right now, and that I definitely have a chance with her.
And Lonnie happens to be the owner's niece. The owner's daughter left the state last year to go to some college out in Boston. She was also staying at her grandma's house while in high school, so there was no way you were seeing her while she was still around. So that has to be the high schooler you're talking about.
Ah, is that right?
By the way, Lonnie's dad also happens to work at that restaurant.
Wait, really?
And he happens to be younger than you.
What?
If you understand what I'm saying now, then stop thinking such depraved thoughts about a high school student and stop going out to Rama, please.
She has a father who's younger than me?
Thank God I was here to tell you the truth before you went and committed a crime.
Ugh. Yo!
What? What this time? Is there something else you're wanting to bug me about?
Yesterday, I was so shocked over the things you told me that I never had the chance to talk with you about the one thing I needed to say.
Is that so? Well, if you want something from me, hurry up and say it. Right now, I'm in the middle of my very important break from work, trying to relax and not think about things.
Ah, so you really are working now?
Yes, I'm working.
I see. I knew that would be the case.
What the hell is this?
You're gonna be a single old hag forever, right?
What? Wait, what the hell did you just say? You think it's okay to be saying rude things like that at your age? Me being single right now or married right now has nothing at all to do with you, Troy.
That's not totally true, though, because I know that I'm correct when I say that you don't seem to be married at all.
Why would you think that?
Because the guy who saw you the other day said that you're living in a one-bedroom condo right now that's meant for young and single adults to be living in.
And you assume that that's my house?
Well, it has to be, right?
Hey, what the hell is this all about, Troy? All of today and yesterday? You lied to me in order to start a conversation with me. And then you started to brag about how you'd be going out with a high schooler of all people. You told me all you wanted was to brag about how happy your life is right now, yet you're back speaking to me again after all that was said and done yesterday? It's been 17 whole years now since you and I got divorced, so what the hell is your goal now?
Well, after that little embarrassing thing I brought up with you yesterday, I thought I'd stop right then and there and never talk to you again. But this morning I realized something.
What?
Lisa, about you. The fact that you're still single at the moment means that you must still have some feelings for me, right?
Huh? No frickin' way would I ever hold any feelings for a man that backstabbed me like you did for the past 17 years.
Are you sure about that? Then why are you still working like that?
There are tons of women who are married and still work a job.
But you're not married. You're still a single old hag.
Who the hell ever said that?
Which means you still have feelings for me, right?
I do not, all right? Shut the hell up, man.
Hey, want to get remarried to me?
Huh?
You and I, we're really getting up there in age now, right? I'm sure this is all moving along way too fast for someone like you, but I've had to start thinking about what my life will be like once I've retired. And when you think about yourself being a single woman in your 70s, don't you feel hopeless and alone?
How about you stop assuming that I'm single when I never said anything about whether or not I'm married right now?
But you not giving me an answer right now means that you're too embarrassed to tell me the truth, right? In other words, you're still single after the last 17 years.
Jesus frickin' Christ. The only reason I haven't said anything is because talking with you is a pain in the ass.
A pain in the ass?
What the hell is the point of explaining my life to some asshole who cheated on me with my little sister? That's why I haven't told you anything about myself. But I can see now that not telling you anything is far worse for me, as you're just going to assume now the person I am, which is even more annoying. So I'll explain things.
What?
To start, take a look at this picture.
What is this a picture of? Why does she look like you in a gown and cap?
That's a photo of me graduating from university.
Huh? But aren't you and I the same age and everything?
After I divorced you, I went back to university. I thought that it was time for me to study some more and make something out of my life.
But at the age you were at, wasn't that a bit of a pain? Going to university after you had to get a divorce from your husband?
I have the right to do whatever the hell I want after you left me for my sister. After you were gone, I had gone back to university to study. I was finally able to get the kind of job I'd been wanting. And what's even better than that, I was able to meet my current husband there.
Your current husband? But you're single right now.
Next is this picture.
What's this?
Those are wedding bands.
What?
And considering that these bands are much different designs than the ones you got back when we were married, you can tell that I was given mine by someone else, right?
Then you're seriously married right now?
Now you take a look at this picture. That is my current husband playing with our toddler.
What?
I didn't want you seeing what they both look like now, so that's a picture I took of them a few years ago when my daughter was a toddler. But as you can see, I have a husband now that I've been married to, and we had a daughter together. My husband also happens to understand that I enjoy working the kind of job I have right now. And both his mom and dad are very loving people that treat me like I'm a daughter of theirs rather than an object.
So you're really married then?
I really am. And for the longest time now, I've been enjoying life with them.
Then why do you have a condo right now that's meant for a single person? Don't tell me you have issues with your husband now and have been taking another man there to make love to him secretly. If that's really the case, then make me that secret lover of yours instead.
It's undeniable now that you've become this disgusting wreck of an old geezer now. Listen, have you not yet noticed that the condo you speak of was just an Airbnb?
What?
From time to time, I'm having to travel a little ways out of town for work, and there is nobody in the area I can stay with. So I thought instead of getting a hotel, I'd be better off staying at an Airbnb like that one. So after talking with my company, they said I could have a room there instead of in a hotel. That's all.
So you were on a business trip?
Yep, and that right there is what's happened to me these past 17 years. Now that you're aware of everything, you shouldn't need to bother me anymore, right?
No, wait, but...
In conclusion, you have nothing to do with my life now, and I will not include you in it.
What?
Bye-bye.
Yo, Lisa, get out here right now!
Wait, what?
I just need this place while you're here for business, so let me come live in there with you!
Huh?
I don't have anywhere else to live right now, so please let me live in there with you! And as a thank you for doing that, I'll eat you out tonight and every night!
Screw off. I already finished my business trip now and am back home with my husband and kid. Right now there's nobody in that condo.
What did you say? You told me before that you were going to be around for 1 month, right?
No, I didn't. I was only there for the week, and that ended 2 days ago.
Are you kidding me?
By the way, Troy, before you came to the condo today looking for me, you went and made a move on that Rebecca, right?
What?
I was just about to tell her to look out for you, but she told me that you already stopped by. You made the mistake of thinking that she was single when you went in to talk to her. You told her that you'd been kicked out by the woman you'd been living with for 10 years and said you'd get back together with her as long as she took care of you, right? But then you noticed that she had a middle school son with her that she had to walk away with after you approached her, right?
You know all about that, too?
My sister told me she never expected you to come out where I'd be so many years later and said sorry for not saying anything to me sooner about you.
Are you guys actually talking to one another again? The two sisters that ruined my life and left me for dead have...
Hearing you say that about us is not right at all. After having taken you from me 17 years ago and then being thrown out by you a year later, my sister's eyes were open to a lot of things. She actually went out to my parents' house not too long after all that happened between you two and apologized to them. I haven't been around my parents' place for some time now, so I wasn't able to meet with her then when she did that. But she continued to try and get in touch with me, wanting to apologize each and every time for what she'd done. I'm not saying that her and I are 100% okay with one another again, but we're at least to the point now where we can talk with one another again over the phone if we need to.
No freaking way!
And with that, this is really it. Don't you ever bother any of us ever again.
Lisa, about a place for me to live.
Screw you.
Lisa!
Goodbye forever. A few days later, I received a phone call from Troy's older brother. Apparently, his older brother is the one who owns his parents' house now, after they had both passed away years ago. Troy went and sold all of his belongings in order to get the money to afford a plane ticket and go all the way back there to live with his older brother. By the time he had made it home to see his brother and his family, he looked like he had fought a war as he began to tell his brother what all had happened. However, his older brother found the story very creepy and told Troy that he never wanted to let him into their house again. But, being his older brother, he did go and ask a friend of his to help Troy out by giving him a new job. And so, after a night of having to sleep out in the shed, Troy's brother came out and grabbed him by the neck before throwing him into a van that took him away to a new location in a dorm room. Without even knowing what had happened to him, Troy was in a new world, working a job he never even asked to do. Troy was also asked to pay his brother back close to $30,000, as that was the amount he'd paid to help Troy out with his divorce and everything 17 years before, after he had cheated on me. Now Troy's in the process of working a very tough job in order to pay that off, while also being disciplined and straightened out by a bunch of big guys he has to work alongside. As for myself, I'm back at home still with my husband and daughter, enjoying the peace and quiet again after blocking Troy's number and never hearing from him again. I'm still at a loss as to what happened over those couple of days with him, but I was never actually worried about him being able to find my family and I, because we don't even live anywhere close to that city, hence me staying in that Airbnb when I have to go on business trips. And when it comes to the relationship between my sister and I know it's not all that strong yet, but over time I'm sure I'll be able to see her in person again. Just give me a few more years, and by then I might even be willing to consider her a part of my family and let her see my daughter and husband. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time. Hey, Erica. Me again. What's up?
Oh, hi, Marge. Nothing much.
I'm texting you because I got some good news.
Yeah? What is it?
I'm getting married.
No kidding. Wow. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. But are you sure you want to be congratulating me?
Huh? What do you mean? A friend's getting married. Why wouldn't I congratulate you?
Even if the guy I'm getting married to is Brandon?
Huh? Brandon? Are we talking about the same Brandon?
Yep, the very same. That Brandon you know so very well.
Are you serious? Is this some kind of joke?
Of course I'm serious. That's why I'm contacting you. I figured you should know. I mean, to find out later would be a super shock, right? LOL. Come on, Erica. I thought you would be more in a panic mode.
I think I'm pretty much there.
Oh, I get it. You're the type that has trouble showing emotions when text messaging online. Is that it? You should use more emojis, LOL.
Are you serious about Brandon? I mean, are you really okay with him?
Of course! And why do you have to say it like that?
It's just that, yeah.
I know you want to stop me from marrying Brandon, but it's too late now because we're ready to make the big leap. And what's more, Brandon's child is in me right now, growing by the day.
Huh? You're kidding, right?
Nope. And now you know. And sorry, there's no place for you.
Yeah, right. Well, if you're okay with it, Marge.
So you finally see the picture. Now that it's settled, I would appreciate it if you would get those divorce proceedings moving.
Divorce proceedings? Hold it a sec. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry about that. I mentioned the big D a little too soon, did I? Took you a little off guard, huh?
Like I said, I don't...
Come on, get over it already. And I'm not too keen on seeing any of your messages, so I'm going to block you. Really sorry about that.
Marge, wait a sec.
Hey, Erica, pick up. When are you going to move out of that house? I'm tired of waiting.
That you, Marge? I thought you blocked me.
I didn't want to contact you, but I had no choice. You won't move out, so I had to do something, right? So what the hell is going on?
Huh?
I'm sure you know by now, but Brandon is my husband. The baby is coming soon, and I want to live in a big, comfortable house. It's all your fault, you know. You won't budge from that house, so Brandon had to move out. And now he's moved into my tiny apartment. I know you don't want to move out of that big, huge house. I don't blame you. But you're being irresponsible. Would you hurry up and pack your things and get the hell out?
I really don't know what to say.
Out! Just get the hell out of our house.
It seems you really don't want to live together.
Live together? What are you talking about? Have you gone a little kooky? The person who has a right to live there is the rightful owner of the house, and that person's spouse. You're not welcome in that house. You have no right to live there. Can't you get that through your thick head? You're already pushing 30. Have a little common sense and courtesy. I can't believe you, Erica. You never change.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I guess I have no other choice if you're going to push it this far. Okay, no problem. I'll move out.
You got that right. Why didn't you just say so from the get-go? Wasting all this precious time for what?
I have to find an apartment and get my things packed up, so I'm going to need a little time. Can you wait until the end of the month?
Huh? That's another 3 weeks.
I'm really busy at work right now. I'm even working on the weekend. Once I get all that cleaned up, I'll move out. So, please?
Well, I guess it's just another 3 weeks. I'll be living there for years to come, so yeah, okay. 3 weeks, and not a day longer. You got that?
Hey, Mom. Sorry. I know you're probably out shopping. Oh, hey, Erica. Are you at the office right now? Yeah, I'm just starting my break. There was something I wanted to talk to you about. Can't we just talk on the phone? No, I'd rather do it this way for various reasons. You're with Dad, aren't you? Yeah, we thought we'd have lunch at that Italian place downtown. We used to take you there when you were a kid, remember? Yeah, I used to love their lasagna. I didn't feel comfortable talking with Dad there, so I prefer doing it online, if you don't mind. What's this about? You know that Brandon got married to my old college friend, right? Yeah, right. They didn't give us any notice about that. We were all kind of taken aback. Yeah, well, apparently they want to live in our home. Really? They said that? They said I should move out. Are you serious? What are they thinking? They said I wasn't allowed to stay there anymore. I can't make sense of it. Oh, so that's why you don't want your father knowing. And I'm really not that close to Brandon. It's just that when I think about Marge, the girl Brandon married, I just wasn't sure how to talk to him. I know it sounds kind of strange, huh? Yes, you're right. I don't blame you for thinking that way. But this Marge, she's not being very nice, is she? Shall I talk to her? No, that's okay. You better not. I don't want a big war erupting between you two. Besides, the only reason I didn't move out is because I was worried that nobody would be there to look after the house when you guys are out, which is often. Well, I suppose you no longer have to worry about that. What do you plan to do from now on? Yeah, I was getting to that. I was going to tell you earlier, my boyfriend proposed to me. Oh my God, that's great news. Of course I accepted. That's wonderful. Congratulations, Erica. Thanks, Mom. I talked to him about moving out, or should I say, kicked out. Well, he offered to let me stay at his place for the time being. I plan to start living with him starting next month. I'm gonna tell Dad that I'm moving out of the house. But I thought you should know about Marge, the kind of person she is. All right, I get it. Well, anyways, it looks like I'm going to have to keep an eye on Marge going forward.
Hey, Erica, pick up!
Buzz, buzz.
Come on, Erica!
What's the matter? You must be busy getting all packed and ready to move in, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm at the house now. Why are Brandon's parents living here?
Huh? I'm not sure what you're getting at. My folks have been living there for years. It's their house. Why wouldn't they be living there?
Huh? What are you talking about?
That's my mother's house. She inherited it from her mom. I also grew up there. And for your information, the house is in my mother's name.
Huh? Why?
Well, because she inherited the house from her mom, my grandma, obviously.
Hold it a second. I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, well, our family structure is a bit complicated. Let me try to explain it to you. My father was previously married and later met my mom, and they got married. He then ended up living there at my mom's house. Well, then years later, I came along. I lived there my whole life. Until recently, that is.
So that means Brandon was your husband, and he started living with your folks in this house?
Huh? Husband?
Yeah. Brandon was living at this house with you, right? That means you got married and started living with your folks.
Hold it a sec. Are you serious, Marge? All this time, did you think that Brandon was my husband?
Yeah, isn't he? I mean, he divorced you and married me, right?
Oh, please. Tell me you're joking. This is too much. I really don't know how you came to that conclusion. There was a sign outside the house that said we were husband or wife or something? LOL. We are definitely not married. LOL.
Not married? Then who is Brandon?
He's my brother from my dad's previous marriage. Like I said, my dad was married before he met my mom. Brandon was his kid from his previous marriage. He came here when he was like 15, and I was about 10 at the time. We grew up together in that house. Brandon was living with his mom for a while, but she sadly passed away some years later, and he came to live with us.
No way. That can't be right. I never saw your parents here before.
Oh, yeah, that. My dad's in the military. He was stationed overseas for a while and recently came back. My mom's working quite a bit, and whenever she has time off, she goes off on one of her trips. Actually, she was visiting my dad in Germany a few months ago. Maybe that's why you didn't see them around. Bad timing, probably.
This is my first time hearing about all this.
Brandon didn't tell you anything?
He didn't say a damn word!
He's your husband, for God's sake. You guys should talk more. This kind of stuff is important.
I don't need you lecturing me. Wait, but... Oh! I get it.
What did you get?
This house, this huge house, is going to be Brandon's someday. That's a fact, right? If he can live in that huge house, there must be plenty of money stashed away, that's for sure. So someday he'll inherit it all. After all, he's the eldest son. Someday, all of it will be Brandon's. Just have to be patient for a little longer and it's all ours. What a relief. Long as I know that, I can put up living with your folks. No problem.
Yeah, well, about that.
What?
As I said earlier, my mom inherited that house from my grandma, remember?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, my mom never officially adopted him as her child, so sorry to say, he's not included in the inheritance.
Huh? Say again?
My dad also said that I should be the sole inheritor of the estate. That means Brandon has zero right to any inheritance on my mother's side.
Are you serious?
And besides, my folks are still in their prime and working hard. They have no intention of retiring anytime soon. And to be honest, I think you're being way too disrespectful to my folks talking about inheriting the house. Is that all you're interested in? What about Brandon?
Yeah, well, I was just...
And another thing, Brandon is heavily in debt to my mom.
Debt? What debt?
Yeah, a few years back, he cheated on his wife and...
Cheated on his wife? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, had an affair. Or should I say, a couple of affairs. Apparently, he was seeing 2 women.
2 women?
They found out he was married, and they took him to court and demanded compensation from him. Ended up paying a total of $50,000 to those two women. My mom loaned him the money, and he's still trying to pay it off.
50,000? What the hell?
That's why I asked if you were okay marrying the guy. Remember I asked? You just brushed it off, as I recall.
Huh? I thought you were just trying to get back at me for stealing your husband from you.
I thought you were being kind of weird. I mean, talking about divorce and all that. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. I couldn't imagine for the life of me that you thought Brandon was my husband. For crying out loud. It really blew my mind. I was rendered speechless, TBH, I gotta say.
I'm getting a divorce.
Huh? What was that? Divorced.
I'm not going to live with his folks. What's the use? With no inheritance, with a huge debt, I have nothing to look forward to. This is a con. Yeah, that's it. I've been conned into this.
Calm down, would you, Marge? My dad verified it with Brandon before you guys got married. He told my dad that he explained the entire situation about the inheritance, the debt, before he married you.
Huh?
Yeah. And my mom even showed me the line conversation that they had. He said he told you the whole story and asked you to marry him under those conditions. And you said yes. Apparently, you said, I would do anything to marry the love of my life, or something to that effect. He said that's why he married you, because of the love you profess to him.
You're making that up. I never said that.
My mom said she took a screenshot of that part of the conversation. If you don't believe me, you can ask her. You probably still have the line conversation on your phone. You should look through and find it.
Yeah, here it is. I checked my line history. Darn it, here it is. This doesn't make me look very good. What am I going to do?
TBH, I don't have anything to do with all this, so talk to your husband about the rest. I'm busy. See ya.
Hold on, please.
Apparently, Brandon told Marge about his past, about all his past affairs and the debt he owed. I heard she was planning on divorcing him after the baby was born. Right about this time, my mom had a DNA test on Brandon to check whether he was really the father's son. It turned out that he was not related at all to my dad, and that his real mother was cheating on him. Turns out Brandon is not related at all. My dad was devastated. What's more, all this DNA stuff really had an impact on our family that Brandon decided on a DNA test for Marge. And guess what? It turns out the kid was not related to Brandon at all. Apparently, Marge had been cheating on him. As a result, Brandon demanded a divorce and even requested compensation. Marge was forced to put her newborn into foster care because her parents wanted nothing to do with her, and she wasn't able to bring the kid up on her own. Last I heard, she was working hard to pay off her debts.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Greg, why are you coming here looking like that? You know that today is the day of our class reunion, right?
Huh? Who is this?
This is Jan Witherton.
Jan Witherton?
Well, this isn't my parents' last name, so I'm sure you won't know who I am. Jan Smith.
Oh, Jan Smith, huh? It's been a very long time.
But I'm married now, so you can call me by my new last name, Witherton.
So if you're talking to me right now after such a long time, that must mean you're here right now at the reunion as well, right?
I am, you idiot.
Then you shouldn't have to be texting me right now, right? You can come over to me and talk in person.
The reason I'm texting you right now is because I don't want to come over to you.
Huh?
Are you going to tell me that that old heap of garbage truck you showed up in today is yours?
That's right, but what does that have to do with anything?
Are you serious? My God. I cannot believe you'd show up to your class reunion in a truck like that, still wearing your raggedy work clothes.
So that's what all of this is about. Well, before the reunion started, I had a job come up that I needed to be at, so there was no time for me to get changed after my work was done.
You didn't change your clothes because you're too poor to have proper clothing, right?
What?
If I remember correctly, your house is filled with all sorts of old and disgusting furniture because your parents could never afford to get anything new.
Now that you're saying that again, it reminds me of how often you picked on me back in school because of my house.
Well, come on. Did you see your place? You've been living in that same place ever since we all started elementary school, and I was certain that that house would cave in on itself at some point before we all graduated high school.
Well, right now my older brother and his wife have that house, and I'm living downtown near the bus station. Don't you remember back when we all finished elementary school, I moved into a new place with my family? We ended up getting a house downtown near the bus station where there was a shop on the first floor and then our house was on the second floor. Well, my parents opened that secondhand furniture store on the first floor when we moved in.
So that's what happened to that old house.
Since my parents run the place on the first floor of the building, and since I have a job of my own, I have no desire to work for them.
I see. So your parents must have seen just how much of a useless idiot you really are and made sure not to let you work in that store with them, right?
That's not the reason for it at all. I'm just saying that I have wants of my own, and one of those is to work a different kind of job than that.
So in other words, what you're saying is that you failed to do the job they asked you to do, and so now you're left doing some stupid work that you want to do. I totally get it now. Such a great feeling, right?
So, no matter what I try and say about myself, you seem to only want to make it seem as though I'm a failure.
And another thing, it's starting to smell like sweat in here now. It must be a pretty rough life having to work hard for such little income every day, right? I guess life for you is totally different from the life a CEO's wife like me gets to live.
You're the wife of a CEO? So your husband runs a company somewhere and you're able to live easily as his wife?
That's it. And that really expensive looking car parked out front is the car that my husband bought for me. It must be crazy to see someone like me living their life on easy mode when you're stuck having to drive a rundown truck like that and work every day in those stinky clothes as a poor person.
I can tell that you have no idea what being poor is really like, and that's fine. But I hold a lot of respect for the job I do, and I feel as though the life I have right now doesn't make me a poor person in any way.
Really? Even though you just showed up to your class reunion in sweaty work clothes and a falling apart pickup truck?
I only came here today in my work clothes and that truck because I got a job last minute that I needed to go help with. So that has nothing to do with the man I've become. And after I'd finished that job, I didn't have time to head all the way back home to get changed, so that's why I came dressed in my work clothes and everything. And as for the truck and these clothes, they're all from my job.
Oh, come on now. What kind of work are you helping with that requires you to have that crappy truck and such smelly clothes?
Near the bus station downtown, there's that produce store that happens to be busy every day, right? Well, currently, a friend of mine who's a farmer isn't doing so well, so I went out to his farm to grab the produce he planned to sell today and drove it into town to be placed in that store before coming here. The store is on the way, so I had no problem doing that for him.
You can tell me any kind of excuse you'd like.
Jan, if all you plan to do is make poor comments about me due to your delusions all day, do you mind just shutting up?
Huh? Delusions?
I really want to put down my phone now so that I can get back to talking with my old friends, so this is where we'll be ending things.
Who cares what you want, you moneyless loser? You're the most disgusting person I've ever come across. What was up with that? You had wanted time to talk to all your old friends today, but now you're sneaking out. Maybe after talking to everyone for a bit, they started to realize just how much of a moneyless loser you really are, and so you snuck away in embarrassment? Well, it's totally okay for you to not come to the after party, all right? If a loser like you had to come to a party with all of us in those sweaty clothes of yours, well, you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Well, actually, the only reason I had to leave is that I have some more work to get done now, and so I had no other choice. But if you still want to doubt what I'm saying, go ahead and ask some of the people I was talking to, and they'll say the same thing.
You actually think I'm going to go check on what's happened to you? I do not have the time to go out asking why a poor person like you had to leave the party.
That's right, but now that we both understand one another, can you stop texting me about this?
Huh?
I am a bit jealous that you get to be the wife of a CEO and all that, but don't think that means I care to talk with you.
And you should be jealous. I'm like a celebrity to all of you guys. Unlike a moneyless loser like you, I live in a completely different world filled with fancy and gorgeous things.
And a true celebrity would never care to talk with me the way you are now.
Excuse me?
To tell it to you straight, you're being indecent.
What the hell did you just say?
Do you really think you have it in you to be the wife of a CEO? Because a true wife of one would be helping him with his company rather than using his image to boost your own. Let's put it this way, if I was your husband and I was a CEO and all you did as my wife was spend my money and make fun of others, then I'd probably say that I don't need you as my wife anymore.
Don't need me?
That's right, don't need ya. Right. Now that we're talking about your husband and his job as a CEO, can you go ahead and tell him that he is in debt $7 million to all of his customers and that those relations will be halted for the time being?
Huh? $7 million?
Of course, he'll be told by other companies as well here soon, but it would be nice of you as his wife to inform him of all this.
Is this like a downturn?
In your case, you're much like your husband's employees, where you're given money by him like a salary every month, right? Well, since your income is on the line much like the rest of your husband's employees, it'd be best that you start to understand the state of his company a bit more.
Greg! What the hell does this mean? How are you the #1 customer to my husband's company?
So you finally talked with your husband about this?
I sure the hell have. Just when I thought you were trying to play games with me by saying all of that about my husband, I went and asked him myself to see what was going on.
So you thought that I was just messing around then?
I just thought that you were trying to make up for losing to me and tried to lie about my husband's job. But when I went to my husband with all of this, he turned ghost white. He told me that a project he'd been working on worth $7 million had started to go downhill.
And as for that project, he had come to my company asking for us to help take part in it to come out with a success. And at first I thought that the partnership would be good for us and that we'd just have to work with his company like any other project had been. But when I saw the information regarding the project from him, well, let's just say that what he had been wanting was unobtainable and that he was way in over his head.
It was that bad then?
Yes. He didn't even have any plans yet for the marketing side of the project, and that alone showed me that he had no faith in even getting this project to go anywhere. And so that's why I ended up saying no to his offer of us working together. But before I even had the chance to give him my answer, he already had his company working on the project and everything, thinking I'd join in. This should be common sense for anyone, but when someone already starts working on something without even getting notice of their partner's will to work alongside them or not, it's not a good sign for things to come. So, after seeing all of this from your husband and his company, I lost faith in doing any more work with him, and so I canceled all projects that were already ongoing with his company and will no longer be a customer of his. And I made sure to have that notice sent to his company the other day.
What the hell? So this is what ended up happening?
I'll have you know on a personal level that your husband has got guts for jumping on a project like that without overthinking things. But when it comes to business, you can't be too hasty like that. It can spell doom for any company when they aren't quite ready yet. And that's why I'd no longer like to do business with him and his company.
What the hell does he think he's doing? Hey, Greg. You guys, did you all move out of that house?
Huh? Oh, geez, it's you again, Mrs. Jan Witherton. It's been, what, half a year now since we last chatted?
It's Smith again.
Huh?
I divorced that man today. His company ended up going bankrupt, so I made sure that he paid for doing something so selfish as losing his company while married to me.
Okay.
So you guys moved out of that house?
Why are you asking me something like that?
I know that back in elementary school your family moved downtown and opened up that used furniture store near the station, but now it's gone and has been turned into an apartment building.
Well, my parents moved their store, and when they did that, they sold that place to a housing company. Well, I didn't know they were going to tear that place down and turn it into an apartment building, though, so that's news to my ears. Does this mean that you went to our old house and tried looking for me?
I sure did, and I thought that it would still be your house, and that's why I came all the way over here looking for you. If you were going to move out of there, you need to tell me that stuff.
Why is it important for me to tell you when I'm moving, when you and I have little relation to one another? It's not even like you're close to my parents either.
Well, I'm planning on getting married to you soon, so you know better than to leave me in the dark like this.
Huh?
It looks like a lonely loser like you is finally going to have your chance at getting a wife, right? And not only is this chance rare for you, but it's even more rare considering I'm like the diamond of women, and I'm willing to marry you now. So make sure to treat me right, okay?
No, please tell me you're not being serious right now.
Hey, about your current address.
I'm already married to another woman right now.
Huh?
I've been married to one of my best friends for a while now, and we've already had 3 kids together.
You're kidding. That's a freaking lie, right? If you're already married, then what's going to happen to me? I thought that even after divorcing someone like my ex, I'd still have you to fall back on.
Wait. Why did you think that would be the case? There was never a moment between us where you thought you could become my wife, right?
There was, though. Back in middle school, you had a crush on me.
I absolutely did not, but...
Huh? When you and I were in the same classes in 8th grade, you were always looking over at me like you wanted me in every way.
That was me looking at the girl sitting next to you, who's now currently my wife.
What?
So that's probably why you thought I was looking at you like that back then. And back then you knew about me dating her, right?
Wait, you're joking, right? No way. You're telling me that you are into that nerdy little freak of a girl?
Well, rather than calling her a nerdy freak, you can call her something like a nerdy and quirky girl.
Huh? You're telling me that a freak like her made you fall in love with her more than a goddess like me? You divorce her this instant and come and marry me.
Screw you.
Marry me right now. Where the hell are you living right now? Greg, marry me. Tell me where you live.
Shut up already.
What?
I'm blocking you now.
Wait a goddamn second.
Bye-bye.
You're supposed to marry me.
Right before blocking things with Jan, she made it seem as though I'd really want to marry her. However, what I learned later is that the previous marriage she had with her CEO husband was actually made possible by her stealing him from her younger sister years ago, and that led to her whole family cutting ties to her. And so, because of that, after leaving her CEO husband, she would have nowhere left to go home to. And that's why she was so hell-bent on marrying me. And only a few days after I blocked her, she started to cause a disturbance at the front desk of my office, saying she needed to talk to me and would start tearing her way into my office if they didn't let her in. But before she could do anything to get to me or harm any of my employees, my security was on her like dogs, and they took her away in one of their cars to the nearest police station to have her turned in for trespassing. And ever since she was taken into custody by the police, things have been calm and peaceful for me. However, a couple days after that, I heard more news about her and her ex-husband. And it became clear to me that she never left her husband due to his company going bankrupt. Rather, he had divorced her because she'd been cheating on him with another man from our class reunion. So as of right now, Jan is working her butt off at multiple different jobs trying to make money to pay for her own apartment as well as money to pay off the settlement her ex asked for. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.